1 minute to the hour of 6. Compliments of the good folks at Caribbean Alliance. Pick up that phone. Give them a call. We're still in the hurricane season and, of course, otherwise. So, yes, that's about it. We are crossing over to the news, but just before we cross over to the news, we head to our good friends at La Falaise.
La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. La Falaise provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their other locations. Picard in Portsmouth, Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Marigot, Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Or Grand Bay, every first and third Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my choice, your choice, our choice.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
Good evening and welcome to DBS Evening News. In the headlines, Phase 1 of the $6.6 million Bath Estate Valley Road project is on track for completion in early 2026. In news from the region, St. Vincent's Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves promises lawsuit over opposition candidates' Canadian citizenship. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump urges Israel's president to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu. And in sports, Dominica went down to French St. Martin in CONCACAF Friendly Series. I'm your presenter, Alian Christopher. The details of the news when we return.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this evening, Phase 1 of the $6.6 million Bath Estate Valley Road project is progressing well, with completion expected in the first quarter of 2026. That's according to resident engineer for the Bath Estate Valley Road Enhancement Project, Atherton Jean-Jacques. Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte, led a site visit to the area this afternoon. The project is being funded by the government through the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, and is carried out by local consulting firm ACE Engineering.
This is a realignment of the Colin Bath Estate Valley Road. Doing phase 1 of the project at the moment. And phase 1 constitutes a retaining wall and an MSC wall, which is a mechanically stabilized earth wall. And at the moment, we're about 8% of our excavation and we're about 10% into the construction of the MSC wall itself. The project started about July 10th. End period for this project is about 300 days and maybe over 100 days into the project. The intention for that project is to realign the road away from the cliffside with the MFC wall, tying back into the section of the road, which at phase 2 it will finish more towards the Silver Lake area. And so basically that's where we are for now. Cost-wise, the project is just a little over $6 million. So far, I think we are on budget. We anticipate, as we say, finishing sometime March, maybe up to May.
Resident engineer of the Bath Estate Valley Road Enhancement Project, Atherton Jean-Jacques. Meantime, Jean-Jacques says this project will greatly enhance the road infrastructure in the area.
It's a local construction company involved. We've had 2 persons in the community part of this project. The objective of this project really is to improve the stabilization of the embankment there, realign the road that would help or improve driving and especially for pedestrians. Under the cliffside, as you probably observed, there are some areas that need to be stabilized. So then some of those areas will be put in phase 2. But at the moment, we're going up to phase 1. From there, we'll take it on into phase 2. The length of the MSC wall is about 200 meters. The realigned length about 200 meters. Well, actually, we'll be tying into the junction. So we will realign in from the junction along that realigned section, tie back into the road.
Resident engineer of the Bafokeng Valley Road Enhancement Project, Atherton Jean-Jacques, parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockett-Hippolyte, says this project is timely and will address the significant road failure in the area.
What we see there, we see very good work, great work by the contractor. We held a community meeting before we began in July. We met with the people of Silver Lake to inform them of the project because obviously that project will impact their lives. And so we met with them, explained to them the scope of work. As you heard the contractor here explaining to us that the first phase will entail the retaining wall and an embankment wall. All that is part of the government's resilience plan because driving through this area, you'll notice you have cliff and you have precipice. There's a lot of road edge failure, and this project really started after Ophelia, and so we finally got the funds drawn down from CDB, and so we began works, and the first phase will entail the retaining wall, and second phase will do the widening of the road. I know initially the plan was to cut into the cliff, but we realized that because of the area there's one way in and one way out, it would be better to do the retaining wall and to expand the road closer to the Silver Lake end.
Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockett-Hippolyte, Environmental Health and Safety Officer of Consulting Engineering Partners Supervising Agency for the Bafokeng State Enhancement Project, Jaiziah Binwa, says health and safety is a critical component of the project.
In keeping with Dominica's thrust to be the first climate resilient country in the world, every infrastructural development project is facilitated in such a way that all of the environmental, social, health and safety safeguards are put in place. That would ensure occupational health and safety, community health and safety, also ensuring that there are minimal risks to the environment in terms of our flora and our fauna. That would ensure that if there are any spills or any incidents that could result in contamination of the environment, there are control measures in place to prevent that. In particular, as it relates to occupational health and safety, we want to ensure that all of the workers on site engaged by the contractor, ACE Engineering, have appropriate protective equipment and also that they follow the appropriate work methods, safe work methods at every stage of the works, whether it's excavation, whether it's work at height, hot works, working confined spaces, they enforce the appropriate environmental control measures. The contractor, ACE Engineering, has also engaged an environmental health and safety officer who conducts daily visits and fulfills checklists to ensure that the environmental health and safety protocols are in place on an ongoing basis. The project began implementation in May, and thus far we have not had any injuries or major incidents as it relates to environment, health and safety. We are working in close collaboration with the residents of the community to make sure that any grievances in terms of noise, dust or local access are addressed in a timely and a transparent manner. So far we have no accidents, and all of the grievances we have received have been closed out in a timely and appropriate manner.
Environmental Health and Safety Officer of Consulting Engineering Partners Supervising Agency for the Bafokeng State Enhancement Project, Jaiziah Binwa. Minister for Environment, Kozia Frederick, has called for a different approach to the environment as government handed over 4 compactor trucks to the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation this morning. The trucks were procured at a cost of over $1.1 million.
These trucks are a major investment, and I'll say that again, but there has to be a commitment from people to play their part. We have to reuse, we have to recycle, but in some cases we have to flatly refuse, reject certain things. I mean, when we speak about the town of Roseau, when we speak about populated areas, there are things that we see on the sidewalks that really should not be there. And I just want to say to the listening public that the environment is a serious concern for us at the ministry. And we do have dedicated staff, limited as they are, who are committed to doing the work. But we need the consolidated efforts of the citizens. We must also ensure in everything we do that the environment protection, the cleanness of our country is really the backbone to our development. And so let's imagine, citizens, when we set up an international airport and more flights come into our space, when we have a cargo port, more transactions in our space, when we have a marina, people coming into that space and interacting, what do we want people to leave the islands with? What do they want to live with? And I think that we have a part to play. So my call to everyone here, my call to the listening public is that you have to play our part.
Minister for Environment, Kozia Frederick. Meantime, General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell, says the new compactor trucks will greatly enhance the corporation's capacity to deal with waste management.
We all note the challenges that we've been having in recent times with the accurate discharge of waste management services. And the public, by and large, we understand your resolve in being forthcoming with us and our inability at times to collect timely. So this handing over ceremony will basically improve on our efficiency. And what we have noted is that even if we have our full complement of trucks, which we have been promised, so we have 4 + 2, which is 6, and we have another 2 coming in December. So the complement will enhance greatly of our fleet. But one of the inherent challenges that we note is that even if we have the entire fleet complement, waste management requires stakeholders' involvement. So the government of Dominica could make human resource, financial resource, equipment available, but you and I, as the custodian of the community, so we have intricate level of responsibilities. And I would like to highlight just 2 areas. So from the residential standpoint, waste is basically something that we generate as we consume goods and services. And we, as residents, we have a critical role in storing the waste that we generate.
General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell. Minister of Education, Octavia Alfred, says the digital OECS harmonized primary curriculum will create a coordinated approach to administering primary education across all OECS member states. The official launch of the digital OECS harmonized primary curriculum will take place tomorrow in Dominica.
The digital OECS harmonized primary curriculum, it is a result of many minds and many hands working together. Ministries of Education, teachers, curriculum officers, digital experts, and regional partners all united in a single vision to create a learning system that empowers every child, every teacher, and every nation within the Eastern Caribbean. This new digital curriculum represents a bold leap forward. It harmonizes education across our region, ensuring that while we may be separated by miles of oceans, our children share a common foundation of knowledge, values, and opportunities. Through technology, we are breaking barriers of distance and access. Now, a student in Dominica can explore the same rich, interactive content as a student in St. Vincent or St. Kitts. A teacher in Antigua can collaborate with a colleague in Grenada, sharing strategies, materials, and ideas in real time. This is the power of partnership in action, a region learning, teaching, and advancing together.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred. A new fish landing site in the tune of over $240,000 for the Newtown community is nearing completion. Parliamentary representative for Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockett Hippolyte, says this project will greatly assist local fisher folks within the community. She led a tour of the project this afternoon.
I embarked on a project to do a fish area for the fishermen in the community so that they could sell their fish in an area that is more decent, pleasing to the public. And so we did the project. It cost us about $70,000, the first phase. And what we did, we utilized tents for the covering. And I always said to the people and the fishermen of Newtown that the tents are temporary. Today we are doing a concrete structure over the fish landing area. It costs about $246,000. This project is funded through the World Bank. Corisav is the contractor on the project. There are 3 projects, the design and build. We're doing this area in Newtown, also at Fonkole and in Portsmouth as well. I know that the fishermen in the area, they welcome the project because, selling fish in heat is not good. Fish has to be in an area that is cool. And so today we're seeing the construction of the covering, a concrete structure that is more resilient for the people. And so the project should end. It's a 16 weeks project. Right now what is happening is that the contractors are preparing the roof for pouring of concrete. So we have a 1 month again to go for completion. The project should have actually started in July, but there was a little delay in terms of the design, and we had to work with the funds that were allocated to us. Within 1 month, the project should be completed.
Parliamentary Representative for Roseau South Constituency, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte. Meantime, foreman on site, Travis Del Sol, is satisfied with the pace of the project.
So far, I must say we have been welcomed by the fishermen. They appreciate what we have done so far for them. Those who have to share maybe their own ideas of what they expect in the future for the construction, but you can see that they are pleased with what's going on there. We just work with the joy of doing the work, man. The workers make jokes with each other, we talk, we free up, no pressure, just that they enjoy. Most of the time the workers enjoy what they're doing, so when you enjoy what you're doing, it encourages you to do it without no stress or anything. On a regular, we have like 8 of us, but so far we are 6 just working. We have a few guys, 2 guys from here working for us as well, and we have other guys working on another site. Well, so far the project is like more than 50% done. The remaining is just the steel work, the concrete, and finishing touches.
And that's the foreman on site, Travis Del Sol. That's all the time that we have for the local segment of our news. Stay tuned. News from the region and internationals up next.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back in news from the region. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has promised that the issue of candidates being elected to Parliament while having dual citizenship will be taken to court as the campaign continues for the country's November 27th general elections. Addressing supporters of the ruling Unity Labour Party last night, Gonsalves, who is seeking an unprecedented 6th consecutive term as head of government, confirmed that the ULP had attempted to prevent the leader of the main opposition, New Democratic Party, the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, and the party's East Kingston candidate, Fitz Bramble, from being nominated as candidates for the elections because of their Canadian citizenship. Both Bramble and Friday were born in St. Vincent and the Grenadines but obtained Canadian citizenship as adults. Speaking on his weekly radio program today, Gonsalves said the 2 opposition legislators have a huge problem, that he defended the decision of registered electors to make the objection to their nomination. And internationally, Israel's President Isaac Herzog has received a letter from U.S. President Donald Trump formally urging him to fully pardon Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu has been standing trial for the past 5 years on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust in connection with 3 separate cases. He has denied any wrongdoing. In the letter, Trump writes that he absolutely respects the independence of Israel's justice system, but that he believes Netanyahu is facing a political unjustified prosecution. Herzog's office said he believed or he helped Trump in the highest regard, but that anyone seeking a pardon had to submit a formal request. Well, that's the news for this evening. Stay tuned for the DBS Sports Report. That too comes up next.
nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome back. First up in the sports report this evening, Dominica went down to French St. Martin just moments ago as the CONCACAF friendly series got underway in St. Kitts. Dominica led early in the second half through Troy Jules. Dominica also missed the opportunity to go in front in the 33rd minute. Troy Jules missed a penalty. He was able, though, to capitalize early in the second half. However, French St. Martin scored twice with goals 10 minutes apart. Their second goal came as a result of a penalty. Marcus Bredas brought down the opposing player in the penalty box. In the end, Dominica went down 2-1 after leading early in the first half. We now hear from Gavin Richards with a post-match update from St. Kitts. He is talking to the head coach Ellington Sabin and the captain Travis Joseph.
A tough start for Dominica to the CONCACAF friendly series in St. Kitts as the senior men's national football team suffered a heartbreaking 1-goal defeat to St. Martin as that competition got underway this afternoon. Of course, Dominica and St. Martin was a pretty tight first half with both teams trading blows. Dominica missing some golden opportunities to go in front, missing a penalty kick, for example, if Troy Jules not being able to convert. In the second half, however, Dominica came out with a bit more purpose, a bit more intense, and Troy Jules made amends for missing that penalty as he put Dominica up 1-0. But again, Dominica continued to squander their chances in front of goal and didn't really bury the opponents when they had the chance. And you know how it is in football, when you don't make the chances, someone else will take them for you, and that's exactly what St. Martin did in the dying stages of the game. They managed to get 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of the match to walk away with the 2-1 win. Let's get some match reaction from the captain, or I should say, let's get some match reaction from the head coach of the team, Ellington Sabin. All right, head coach Ellington Sabin. Tough day for Dominica, going down 2-1 after taking the lead in the second half. Your thoughts, your impressions on the game?
Well, I mean, we played decent. We created a number of chances and we squandered a lot of chances. And with the chances they scored have been a lot different. So that is what it is. When you throw chances and teams score their chances, then they win games.
You mentioned that we threw a number of chances. Of course, we threw a penalty. We had some clear-cut chances. How would you sort of regroup and lift the spirits of the guys for the next game?
Well, it's about being, the game is behind us. We have another game to play. It's about being clinical in front of goal. And once we have clinical in front of goal, then this kind of thing would happen. We have to go back to the drawing board and prepare for the other game.
All right, we missed chances, yes, but were you impressed with other aspects of the game?
Well, yeah, the game played all right. We possessed the ball nicely. We moved the ball around nicely in spurts. It's about being more consistent in that area as well.
All right, quick thoughts on Jerome Burkhardt, of course, between the goals today, had a number of big saves to keep Dominica in the game.
Well, yeah, Jerome is a player in form, and Jerome always shows up in these kind of games, and it's nothing new to us to see Jerome have that kind of performance.
Mm-hmm. And Troy Jules, of course, the attacking threat up front.
Troy had a decent game as well. He threw away the penalty, but he made up for it. He scored the only goal we got for the game.
All right, so Coach, what will be the message for the guys? Because I know the heads are down right now, suffering this heartbreaking defeat there.
Raise your heads. Like I said, one goal is not kind of win a game. We need to score a lot more goals. We need to put away a lot of the chances. And the more we can do that, then easier the games will become.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. All the best.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, with us is Travis Joseph, captain of the senior men's national football team. And Travis, a heartbreaking defeat in the end. Dominica couldn't hold on. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, my thoughts on the game is I'm very disappointed because to me, I felt like no pressure, like nothing we couldn't handle. that was just a game basically for us to just really just do what we really want. And it didn't turn out like that way for us, so I blame us in a way for that.
Clear-cut chances, we missed a number of them, Travis, and it came back to haunt us.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Easy game. I don't know if it's like complacency, but these are things we have to put away. We have to punish teams when we get them, because when the table turns, they are punishing us. So we have to fix that for the next game.
We have to fix that for the next game. So Travis, of course, the guys are really down. You can see it across their faces right now. What would you say to them, over the next day or two as we prepare for the next game?
Well, as senior men, we are there. Myself, Brian, Jay, we are there to fix that problem. Keep their heads up, and that's how football is. One day you win, one day you lose. I'm pretty confident that all heads will be raised for Saturday's game.
All right. Any positives though we can take from this game? I know we missed a number of chances.
We had a lot of positives because it's obvious that they couldn't prevent us from creating, which is a very, very big positive for a team. And the way we were possessing the ball, it's like we were controlling the game, but the results just don't show that for us.
Mm-hmm. Defensively, though, you're impressed with the way that the guys kept shape?
Yeah, I was pretty confident, impressed with the shape. It's just at the latter end we lost it a little bit, so it's just to sharpen up on that.
All right, Travis, what do you want to say to the Dominican people right now?
Well, I feel a little bit bad for them, as a player, as a captain, and for the football world. I feel a little bit sad for them. So I just want to tell them, just have a little faith in us, and on Saturday we'll give them a win.
All right, thank you very much, Travis.
Yeah, man, welcome.
And all thanks to Gavin Richards for that post-match update. We move on with the sports report. Dominica's Stefan Pascal has been named in the Windward Island Volcanoes squad for the upcoming CG United Super 50 Cup, scheduled to take place in Trinidad from November 19 to the 29th. The team will be led by Captain Teddy Bishop, with Johan Jeremiah serving as vice captain. The Volcanoes will compete without several players from their original squad who are currently on international duty following the conclusion of the WICB Super 50 in August. The full squad includes Teddy Bishop, the captain, Sonil Ambrose, McKenny Clark, Darrell Cyrus, Kenneth Dember, Sadrak Descat, Daniel McDonald, Dylan Douglas, Keon Gaston, Johan Jeremiah, vice captain, Kimani Melias, Kirsten Murray, Darren Ned and Stefan Pascal. The Volcanoes will open their campaign on November 19th against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. A radiothon is set for this evening from 7 p.m. on DBS Radio's Off the Field program to support young boxer Tahir Tyson, who is undergoing medical treatment in Trinidad after being diagnosed with cancer and losing the ability to walk. President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph, said the association's focus has now shifted to helping young Tyson through this difficult time. The president of the Boxing Association, he has called on the general public to support the initiative, as all funds will now go to young Tyson's medical expenses.
Dominicans has supported the Boxing Association every time we call. And I know this time around they will do the same thing, seeing that this is a very big call. We would like every Dominican to think of it, give us a priority for this young boxer who now is in Trinidad on medical, so he can come back as a young boxer and live a normal life. For those who do not hear the first clipping, he is diagnosed with cancer and is unable to walk, and is taking treatment right now in Trinidad. We appeal to the public to support us tomorrow night, Wednesday, on DBS Radio, where we will have a program where you could call in and pledge to put or to help him his medical bills. I also want to let the nation know that the Prime Minister has given his word that he will do everything he can do in his power. We all can do everything we can do in our power to support this young boxer. I thank you very much.
President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph. In some cricket, West Indies will be aiming to level the T20 series tonight when they face New Zealand in the fifth and final T20 International. The five-match T20 series is 2-1 in favour of New Zealand. The fourth match in Nelson was abandoned due to rain after just 39 balls. The T20 captain, Shea Hope, says it is important for the Windies to finish strong.
Yeah, so the unfortunate reality is that we can't win this series, that last game that was rained out. But we still put ourselves in a position to finish on square terms. Sometimes when you go to foreign conditions and foreign places, sometimes you got to take what you get. But yeah, certainly 2-2 will look a lot better than 3-1 to New Zealand. So that's something that we're certainly hoping for. And still many positives that you can take from this series, especially coming from the previous one where the conditions were so different in terms of ball spinning a bit more, not bouncing as much, and then transferring that information that we would have had previously to come here and then put up such great fight in the first game to start the series off well. And yeah, but we got a very big game. It's important that we can finish this series very strong, and especially here in these conditions here, it's a very big positive for all of us in the Caribbean as well. Everyone in the Caribbean wants us to win every game, but we know it's not possible as long as we're playing good cricket and we're ticking our boxes and doing what we can do. I'm happy, and I'm sure the backroom staff and in our team as well is going to be very pleased with the performances in this series.
West Indies captain Shea Hope. The match will begin at 8:15 Caribbean time. Finally, the Sports Division Primary School cross country got on the way today with action in the North and Northeast District. The Roosevelt Douglas Primary School boys stole the show as they took the top 3 positions in the individual category in the North District at Longhouse Portsmouth. Umari Caesar finished first, Micah Charles second, and Trayvon Valerie in third. For the girls, Esther Frank of the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School came in first position. Peyton Joseph of St. John's Primary in second, and Yaritza Yankee also of the St. John's Primary in third. For the teams category, the St. John's Primary took first place, Roosevelt Douglas Primary took second, and Paybush Primary third. At the Northeast District in Wesley, Kerrian Alexander of the Wesley Primary School came in first place, Kyra Bedminster of the Wills Strathmore Stevens Primary School in second, and Adelia Joseph of Woodford Hill Primary in third. For the boys, Majid Prince of Woodford Hill Primary came in first, Kaelan Peter of Wesley Primary in second, and Neville Peter, also of Wesley Primary, in third. The action will continue in the Sports Division Primary Schools cross country tomorrow, with the South District in Grand Bay and Northwest District taking place in Maho. That's all the time for the sports and the news for this evening. I've been the presenter of both the sports and news for today. On behalf of the entire news team and our links person Joseph Fadul saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282. DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 12th day of November 2025. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Deaf Announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Julius Christopher Timothy, age 73. He was a former member of Parliament and businessman. He was the husband of Joy Timothy. He was the father of 4 sons, Jason, Cornelius, Jelani, and Julian, and